Well. Good afternoon, West Ham fans. It's Monday, lunchtime, so it could mean only one thing. It's the Russy Rumour Roundup. Yes, everybody, Russ and the West Ham Network. Hope you're all safe and well, my friends. Another weekend gone, but another weekend close to the start of the season. And obviously a thumping 1-0 victory away to Dagenham and Redbridge in the pre-season friendlies. Obviously, all the first team are off to the States at the moment. Kids in America. Whoa! And so they'll be there for 2 games, obviously playing Wolves and Crystal Palace in Tampa. And we'll keep you abreast of any news that falls out from that tour. But it is Monday. The transfer window is still open. We still need to buy some players. And so it is the Russy Rumour Roundup. For anyone new, what we do is we collate, we scour all the transfer rumour pages, the ITK pages, and present all the information back to you. And then we give you our thoughts on it. Sorry, my eyes are really hurting today. And then we obviously apply the Russy Rumour rating, the original rumour rating. Before I start, I have to say, warning, we are not saying we are going to buy all these players, rather. But the whole purpose is to save you having to scour all the pages yourself. And indeed, we collate, we keep a tally of all the players we've been linked with. And I believe we've hit a milestone. But we'll come to that at the end. Let's start with an Englishman. Let's start with an Englishman. Let's start with Fikayo Tomori, the AC Milan defender, former Chelsea player, and obviously England international was somewhat overlooked for the Euros, which is a little bit of a surprise because he's been playing well. But apparently West Ham have to pay between 33.7 and 37.92 million pounds to sign the AC Milan striker, according to my favourite Italian news outlet, Calcio Mercato. The Italian news outlet reported today that the Hammers are unlikely to reach that price for the former Chelsea man, having already splashed, obviously, 40 million on Max Kilman. It was reported yesterday in the Daily Mail on Sunday that the Hammers are weighing up an option to make a move for the 26-year-old who won the Serie A with AC Milan in the 21-22 season. I mean, there's no doubt he's a great player. Absolutely great players, Tomori. And him with Max Kilman, quite a formidable partnership, I'd suggest. And obviously both homegrown as well. So both will be part of the quota, but the fact we have to pay 33.7 million, I'm not. I think it's I think it's probably quite a good price for him. I'll be honest, considering when you look how much we paid for Max Kilman, and he's a year younger. He made a decision to obviously go to Italy, and has made a great career for himself out there. And maybe he wants to come back home potentially. We shall wait and see. Obviously, we were linked with N'Golo Kante. Apparently, we had a bid of around £15 million rejected. We were looking back and maybe going for a bid with him and Zuma. Money and Zuma, maybe. But the Russy Rumour rating, the original rating, gives him a 6 out of 10. So I think there's legs here. There's definitely some legs in this, I reckon. We know that's part of the strategy is to look for players who are homegrown, who are playing outside the Premier League, because there's less likely to be a levy as much. So you'd say, Max Kilman 40 million, that was quite high, wasn't it? But that's because we're buying from Premier League to Premier League, but actually buying homegrown from outside the Premier League, you might be get yourself a bit more of a deal. Let's stick with AC Milan, shall we, and talk about the Belgian player, Alexis Saelemaekers. Apparently, we're looking to Belgium. We mentioned it last week, actually, but a little bit more news about Alexis. He was obviously on loan at Bologna last season and is apparently available for around 16 to 17 million pounds. He's played 140 times in all competitions for AC Milan, and he spent last season impressing for Bologna. And again, as mentioned, AC Milan were a little bit surprised that Bologna didn't take up the option to buy, but maybe it might be money troubles, you know. He's more commonly deployed on the left wing, which again gives some sort of credence to the link, as obviously left wing is an area we're sort of looking at getting someone in, an actual left winger rather than a number 10 we put on the left wing. And as I said, he played 32 times across all competitions for Bologna last year. Money-wise, decent money. You got to think, what can you get for like 16 million quid nowadays? Decent average to good championship player, maybe. The Russy Rumour rating, the original rating, I'll give it a Lamar just because I think Leicester are also interested, and we seem to be linked with so many wingers. But the fact is, if he's at a reasonable price, maybe a double. What about a double deal? Double deal with Tomori, maybe. That'd be lovely, wouldn't it? Another name we've been linked with and backlinked with is the Inter Miami Paraguayan midfielder Diego Gomez. Apparently, us and Brighton and Hove Albion are locked in a transfer battle for the 21-year-old. He's caught the eye for some fantastic performances, showcasing real talent and a knack for goal contributions as well. As I said, it looks like West Ham and Brighton are the front runners for him. However, neither have put a concrete bid in. Although apparently Brighton have started negotiations on a fee of around £11.6 million. So the race is on maybe for West Ham to try and gazump that. I mean, he's got a sense of creativity, his goal threat, and potential. At 21, he could develop into a fantastic player. So it'd be a very attractive prospect for any club, particularly West Ham, obviously, with our sort of new policy. I give it a 4 out of 10. Just because I don't know. But then again, I gave Max Kilman a 4 or 5 out of 10. We signed him the next day. So anything is possible. Let's go back to Serie A. And talk about a Mexican player. Talk about Johan Vasquez. Now, apparently, we're reportedly keen on bolstering our defensive options by putting a bid in for the Genoa Mexican centre-back, Johan. And he's caught the eye with some impressive performances, particularly his ability to contribute to build-up play from the back, which is obviously very much the Lopetegui style of football, or the ones we've seen so far. Good stats as well. Top 18% off of blocks in 90 minutes across Europe. Top 16 for shot-creating actions, which ain't bad for a centre-half. And, he's attracted a lot of interest from several clubs, including believed to be West Ham and Inter Milan. West Ham apparently believed to be in pole position for the 25-year-old signature, with a potential bid imminent. He is left-footed, so with him and Kilman and Aged, we've got quite a few left-footed players, although Aged may well be departing the club. We'll talk about that at Hammers Headlines a bit later on. According to The Athletic, a fee of around £8.4 million is what's been offered, which seems an absolute bargain, to be honest. Obviously, Mexican, so, the sort of association with Edson Alvarez maybe as well. Could help swing it for the Hammers. The Russy Rumour rating, the original Rumour rating, I give this a 6 out of 10, mainly because he's quite cheap and he seems to be quite good. And we know Italy is an area we've been looking at as well. Let's talk about strikers quickly. Let's talk about the Galatasaray forward, Baris Alper Yilmaz. Now, apparently, obviously, we've been linked with him, but apparently he's been spotted in London as English clubs complete for his signature. Now, according to Ajan Spor, the Turkish outlet, reported over the weekend that following his exploits with Turkey in the Euro 2024s, the Galatasaray forward went to London and was pictured on social media. It's not clear whether Baris is there for a brief holiday, or whether he's there specifically to seal a transfer. Apparently, West Ham, Liverpool, and Spurs are interested in signing him. And apparently, according to Spores, West Ham tabled a bid for the 24-year-old. But Ashton Spores report details that Liverpool have made the first move to sign him on a £25.3 million offer. So someone's lying. And someone could be telling the truth, or both could be lying. The Russy Rumour rating, the original Rumour rating, I give this one a Lamar. The reason why I give it a Lamar is because of this gentleman, Jhon Duran. Now, this is a guy he's the, I don't know, Idaker Johnson of this transfer window. One player who won't sign, obviously, is old Yusuf En-Nesyri, because he's gone to Fenerbahce, according to Fabrizio Romano, which is due to be announced soon. But apparently, according to Sky Sports, Duran is still eager to secure a move to West Ham this summer. It's somewhat slipped on the back burner in recent days, but Sky Sports are now suggesting that Hammer's interest is far from over. Obviously, we know that the Colombian striker has been playing at Copa America. Obviously, he was on the bench for the final. He struggled for regular first-team football at Villa Park, and he's looking to revive his career elsewhere. The 20-year-old is someone we were linked with when he was at Chicago Fire before he moved to Aston Villa for around 17 million quid. Apparently, he'll be long-term admirers of the striker and are believed to be in the process of making a concrete offer. Aston Villa expects to demand a fee of around 35 million plus for the 20-year-old. We spoke about Thursday, Friday. They potentially might be loosening their stance on him. It was believed, I think it was reported over the weekend, that Napoli tried to put a bid in for Duran, only to be told that he's moving to West Ham in a deal for £32 million. So we'll wait and see. The player's desire to leave Villa Park could give West Ham a significant advantage in the race to secure his services, because he might want to throw his toys out to get a move. It's happened for West Ham signings many a times. Payet, Arnautovic, all the lovely fellas, and maybe Duran as well. So I'm giving it a 7 out of 10. A 7 out of 10. So the question is, where are we on the list? There we are, 171. Now, this is not totally up to date. I need to go through. There's a few players who have moved, which I need to put on. I need to take them out of the system. But 171 players we've been linked to so far, which is mental. And surpasses last year's number already. So well on the way to last year's number. And that's it, my friends. Thank you very much for your time. Also, as I said, unlucky to old friend of the channel, Billy Hawkshaw. He finished joint second in the Open, going into the final day. We've put our little interview with Billy, a few interviews we've had with him on the channel if you want to go through them, because I'm obviously a big West Ham fan. And also we did our latest round of the scavenger hunts. We left metal shirts at Rush Green and at Chadwell Heath. We may well be doing it again this weekend. Keep an eye on the socials. Until next time, Hammer's Headlines, we're going to talk about the departures or potential departures of West Ham. Take care, stay safe, stay warm, stay humble, keep the faith, come on you Irons.